everybody, welcome to our garden. It's a very sunny weekend and so we decided to clean the pond. It's a long overdue work, so it's better late than never. We start by emptying all the water from the pond. As you can see, we use it around in the garden because it's highly nutritious for all the plants. Once the water is halfway down, we pull out the plants. We take stock of all the plants and see if they need repotting. Since I repotted it last year, this year I would skip it. This is a reed plant, grass, and right next to it is a scoring rush plant. This is the pond marigold. It's very delicate. Its stems are hollow, which allows it to float on top of the water. Meanwhile, I'm going to try and rescue my white feather hosta. It's being eaten by slugs and snails. I've tried my best with all methods to try to keep it safe, but it's being, as you can see, eaten quite badly. One of the fish that we've put in has survived through the winter. We also found a dragonfly nymph. So we'll keep it safe till the pond is ready for them to go back. The root ball of the white feather hosta was quite deep and I've managed to dig it up without destroying much of the root. I also need to move 2 other hostas. These hostas were planted 2 years ago, but the bergenias next to it has completely overgrown and covered them. So you can see he's removing one of the hostas, and this is the root ball of it. It's quite healthy, not eaten by the slugs. This is the other hosta. It's just starting to come out of the ground, so we are trying to lift it without disturbing it much. When we were trying to remove this hosta, we found the root of the bergenia going all the way on the sides of the pond, very strong. Washing off all the gunk and mud which is on the outside of the pots before we place them into the clean pond. I found another nymph on my pond marigold, so without disturbing it much, I'm going to place it into the washed pond. Before filling in new water, we washed the liner and emptied it, placed the new plants, and then we started to fill in the water. So as the water fills up, if any moss or anything floats up, we'll pick it out. Next is to let the fish and the nymph back into the pond. This bit is done very slowly so that we do not shock them with the new water. So what my husband is doing is slowly letting in the new water into the pot and then tilting it slowly so that they can swim back themselves. There goes the nymph. The fish is a little bit reluctant, so we will let it take its time. For replanting all the hostas, the white feather hosta has been placed into its planting hole and covered with some compost. With this hosta, I'm going to see if it do better under the acer tree. So I've dug a hole and placed the hosta into its planting hole and now covering it with compost. Just for precaution, I'm going to sprinkle all the hostas with slug pellets. This is the other hosta, Hosta franscee. It's also being done in the same manner. Dig a hole, place the hosta and cover it with compost and then water thoroughly. I also moved the 2 winter cherries which was in between all the primroses. All of them were not doing well. So I lifted them, moved them to a much sunnier location, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it should do well. These are the primroses. There were around 6 to 7 of them. None of them were flowering at all. So I lifted them and realized that there's so many little plants. So divided it and replanted it. Again, I will wait till winter to see if they are flowering much betterly. This is a fern that is again moved. 3 of them were in a line, but unfortunately I had to lift it because there was a skimMia and the bergenia. Both of them were growing and covering the fern. So you can see one fern there and one fern here. The gap in the middle was where this little fern was. So it wasn't growing at all. And to rescue it, I had to lift it and move it to this side of the tree stump. So hopefully it will be better here. Some of the flowering beauties of the garden. A very bad weather is forecasted for the rest of the weekend. So hopefully these roses and all the other plants which are moved should not be harmed much, and all should be good at the allotment. See you soon.